Mr. Mack-Poole, 3-minute history, A-level, Russian Revolution, collectivization. What were the reasons for the Great Turn? So, one of the most important reasons for the Great Turn was because of Stalin's shift in the ideological debates. He'd already got rid of the left wing, Zinoviev, Kamenev and Trotsky, and now he wished to take on the right. So it suited him to wield collectivization as a method to take them down. Now, collectivization was very popular because the NEP was not. Many rank-and-file Marxists didn't really believe that the NEP was true Marxism, and it's not. It creates an internal market. So adopting collectivization for the countryside, for that rural part of the Soviet Union, had a massive sense of popularity within the rank-and-file Marxist Communist Party members. Also, there was a grain crisis in the years 1927 to 1928, so there's a nice intersectionality here between Stalin's need to purge the right and centre of the party and the situation literally on the ground being one where a change was needed in regard to grain procurement. Stalin initiated his collectivization stage 1 in 1929 to 1930 with a propaganda campaign against the kulaks. He thought the kulaks were essentially class enemies, the rich, the parasites on the poorer peasants, and he wanted them to be liquidated. Now, only 4% of the peasant class were actually kulaks. However, 15% of the peasants were actually arrested and sent to gulags or killed. Okay, so obviously there was too much of an impact in that regard. Now, this collectivization was so popular with rank-and-file party members that although Stalin said that only 25% of the countryside should be collectivized, this was completely outstripped, and I believe 58% was collectivized by 1930. Stalin said that party members were becoming dizzy with success, and he actually had to relax his policy a bit because of the brutal treatment of peasants, which allowed him to collect the harvest for that year. He actually allowed some greater freedoms with the peasants as well with this regard. The typical collectivized farm was a kolkhoz. A kolkhoz had around 75 peasant families and was run by a member of the Communist Party. Sovkhozes were also introduced. These were generally larger collectivized farms, but peasants weren't called peasants, they were called workers and drew a wage instead of expecting any kind of profits. They were seen as the socialist agriculture of the highest order. Machine tractor stations, by the name, mechanised agriculture. There were 2,500 of these by 1931, but there was only one machine tractor station by 1940 for every 40 farms.